If you look up most popular bodyweight exercises, you get a list. I'm going to break down the 6 most well-known bodyweight exercises from worst to best. And you guys, this is my list. You're probably not going to agree with it. You might agree with it. You never know. But this is my list from worst to best. I'll give my reasons, and yes, it's going to be controversial. But just let me know at the end if you agree, what exercises I missed, and stuff that you disagree with. All right, here we go. Easily at number 6, I'm sure that you guys knew this was coming from me, if you guys follow me, is the plank. The plank is right up there with the wall sit, because any exercise that you guys can do for minutes on end, I have a problem with. Because ultimately, there are dozens of other exercises you guys can do to get so much more benefit than sitting here in a plank for 45 seconds to a minute. Yes, I do understand why planking is important. However, my problem with it is there's so many other exercises that you guys can choose from to get more benefit from with the time allotted to have a successful plank. That's why I put the plank at number 6, in last place by far of all these exercises. I'm gonna get some hate for this one. At number 5, second to last place, is burpees. Now, what's my problem with burpees here? See, my problem with burpees is, yes, they are an amazing metabolic, fat-burning, high-intensity exercise for the first 10 reps. But you guys, for most common people, getting more than 10 burpees ends up looking like this. We lose all form, we lose all efficiency, we lose the effect of the exercise, having a nice tight core, getting a full body workout. It just becomes lazy. And you heard me say it before, burpees are boring. So yes, I do see the benefit, but I put them at number 5 because, you guys, I just don't like them. At number 4 is sit-ups. Now, sit-ups, I know this is going to be controversial as well, but there's a lot of different kinds of sit-ups that you guys can bust in. I'm talking full range of motion, the old school, hands across the chest, sit up, boom. Sit-ups are a great way to improve that abdominal strength, that core strength. However, one problem I have with sit-ups is a lot of people think that a flat stomach comes from doing sit-ups. If you follow my stuff, I explain this thoroughly, frequently. Flat stomachs do not come from ab workouts. One problem I have with sit-ups is if you have strong enough abs, you don't necessarily start feeling the exercise until about 25 or 30 reps in. Now, I know for a lot of people, 8 to 15 sit-ups is challenging, and that's awesome. But my problem with the sit-ups, if you get a strong enough core, you lose the benefit of the exercise compared to if you're really trying to build up that abdominal strength. And a super solid benefit, of course, we all like having a flat stomach and good looking abs, but building up that core to help support our lower back even more is a huge benefit of doing sit-ups. At number 3 is push-ups. And I'm sure you guys are shocked because you know I love my push-ups. Push-ups are one of the best bodyweight exercises. Actually, it was listed as number 1 if you search up bodyweight exercises. I highly recommend everybody working on their push-up form, whether it's starting with your hands high, moving your way down, working on the negatives of push-ups, and working on their upper body strength by completing more and more push-ups daily. You can see in my last long-form video, I did 2,000 push-ups in a day to celebrate my 2,000 subscribers. Now, the only reason why it's not up to number 2 or number 1 is the fact that a lot of people do push-ups wrong. Their elbows come out. They don't work on that eccentric movement. They end up doing the worm. So for this reason, I have 2 other exercises that I think are better than push-ups. But yes, push-ups are amazing. Get your push-ups in. Get them in. At number 2 are air squats. Air squats are solid for every type of body type. However, one common problem with air squats is doing them incorrectly. Remember, we don't want to have our knees shoot past our toes on our air squats. I know this knees over toes guy. It's a whole different story. Side note, did you know there's a knees over toes girl too? I just found that out like last night. So squats, going down, driving with your heels, working on that posterior chain, which is your glutes, hammies, everything in the back of your legs, is one of the best things you can do with a bodyweight program at home. Now, 2 main reasons why I think that squats get the upper hand above the other exercises. Number 1, it increases your mobility. And by increasing it, I mean it tests it and lets you know exactly how good and mobile your hips and knees and ankles are. If you lack that mobility, guess what you do? More air squats. You work on that range of motion. You build up your posterior chain strength while increasing that mobility. And the second reason, along with mobility, working on that posterior chain, because as you get older, back pain takes in. And if you don't have a strong enough posterior chain to support your lower back, you're going to get back injuries. So, mobility, posterior chain strength, and of course, working on that strongest muscle in your body, your glutes. And at number 1, I know it's going to be controversial because not many people can do them, are pull-ups. Pull-ups, I think, are the best bodyweight exercise that anybody can incorporate into their fitness training program. Now, the fact that not many people can do a full range pull-up is not the problem, because there are all kinds of alternatives that you can do to build up to get your first pull-up in. I do videos about these all the time. But the reason why pull-ups are so important is, for one, your grip strength. As you age, you really got to definitely work on that grip strength, and pull-ups is one of the best ways to do it with your bodyweight training. Secondly, you'll see a centralized theme here. It works on that upper back and that posture. So many of us are sitting at our desks with our heads hunched over, or staring at our phones with our heads hunched over. You're guilty, staring at your phone. Stop it. So getting that hunched over effect, getting that tight, stiff back, actually by doing pull-ups and doing pull-up work, it increases that strength to really focus on your posture and get you upright. That is one reason why pull-ups are so important. And the other reason why I do so many shorts is this dead hang effect of the pull-up. Doing a dead hang is one of the best things you can possibly do. It increases your blood flow, increases your grip strength, lengthens your abdomen, decompresses your spine, does so many wonders just by doing this bottom version of the pull-up, the dead hang. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Which ones do you think should be bumped up or bumped down? Let me know. I'd love to chat. If you have any questions about health and fitness, hit me up. Follow for more value. Rock it out.